Hello and welcome. I want to talk to you about a hidden problem that almost everyone faces. It is the silent, exhausting tyranny of almost starting. You have the goal, you have the desire, you are ready to change your life, yet you are stuck in the waiting room of your own potential. You are not lazy, you are not incapable, you are simply trapped in the vicious cycle of learning to learn. Think about that project you want to launch, that skill you want to master, or that fitness goal you have set. You have spent countless hours absorbing information. You have subscribed to all the newsletters, you have bought the best books, and you have downloaded the top apps. You have mapped out the perfect itinerary for your success. But when the moment comes to take that first real step, you feel a massive weight. You feel fear. You feel the need for just one more tutorial, one more perfect article, one more piece of preparation. This is the preparation trap, and it is designed to keep you safe, comfortable, and perpetually unstarted. The reason this happens is simple. We mistake starting for a result. We think that the beginning of a journey must look polished and complete, like the first chapter of a published novel. We treat starting as a complex academic subject that must be mastered before we even touch the tools. This is fundamentally wrong. Starting is not a subject. Starting is a skill, and like any skill, whether it is juggling or driving a manual car, you can only develop it through repeated, imperfect practice. You need to train your brain to move from thinking to doing. We need to adopt a different philosophy, a different way of showing up, and I have 5 foundational principles that will help you dismantle the tyranny of preparation and finally move into action. The first principle is the 5-minute rule, amplified. This is your primary weapon against inertia. When a task feels huge, your brain treats it like a threat and triggers procrastination. To bypass this, you must make the commitment ridiculously small. Do not just commit to 5 minutes, commit to the smallest possible step within those 5 minutes. If you want to write a novel, your 5 minutes are spent typing 1 sentence. If you want to learn to code, your 5 minutes are spent setting up the environment and typing the word hello. The goal is not progress, the goal is motion. Motion defeats stagnation. If you feel like continuing after 5 minutes, wonderful. If you stop, you have still won because you practiced the skill of starting. The second principle is adopt the mindset of the apprentice. An apprentice knows they will make mistakes. An apprentice knows their work will be messy, slow, and probably terrible for a long time. They do not expect perfection, they expect instruction and iteration. When you treat yourself like an apprentice, you remove the pressure of instant mastery. You replace the paralyzing thought of "this must be excellent" with the freeing thought of "this is practice." This apprenticeship phase is crucial because it gives you permission to make the ugly first draft, and the ugly first draft is the required foundation for every masterpiece. Never let the fear of being bad stop you from beginning. Now, let us pause on this idea of the ugly first draft because it is the biggest mental block we face. The ugly first draft is the essential starting point that most people skip. They look at successful people, see the final product, and assume that person started at a level far above their current one. They forget that every expert was once a beginner, and every beginner produces clumsy, inefficient work. Your brain is wired to seek efficiency and praise. When you sit down to start a challenging task, your brain anticipates the inefficiency and the potential criticism, and it suggests procrastination as a form of self-protection. To move past this, you have to actively celebrate the clumsiness of the beginning. You must verbally affirm that you are happy your first attempt is awkward, because that means you didn't wait until you were perfect. You moved. You acted. This conscious choice to embrace the initial ugliness changes the chemical reward in your brain, turning fear into curiosity and resistance into forward momentum. Remember, the ugly first draft is the proof of courage. It is the artifact that shows you prioritized action over anxiety. Use that courage every single time you sit down to start. The third principle is externalize and vocalize. Keep your struggle internal and you give procrastination power. By keeping your attempts private, you allow yourself to quietly quit without consequence. You need low-stakes accountability to anchor your new actions. This does not mean announcing your goal to the world. It means taking your small 5-minute win and externalizing it. Write, "I spent 5 minutes on my drawing today." Write it down in a physical journal that you keep visible. Use an anonymous online tracker to simply log the word "done." When you vocalize your small victory, you reinforce the neural pathway for starting. You are confirming to your brain that this small action is real and consequential. The fourth principle is focus on momentum, not magnitude. We often fail because we try to compensate for past laziness with heroic effort. We jump from doing nothing to committing 2 hours a day. This is unsustainable and guarantees burnout. You are training a habit, and habits thrive on consistency, not intensity. A tiny step taken every single day is infinitely more powerful than a massive step taken once a month. Think of your new habit not as a destination, but as a chain. Never break the chain. If you can only manage 1 minute today, make sure you take that 1 minute. Consistency is the currency of skill. The final and most liberating principle is decouple identity from outcome. When we struggle, we often say, "I am bad at this." This merges your effort with your identity, making every mistake feel like a personal flaw. You must separate the two. When your attempt fails, acknowledge the failure of the method, not the failure of the self. Say, "That 5 minutes of coding was inefficient," not "I am an inefficient coder." Your worth and your ability to learn are separate from the current clumsy state of your skill. This emotional detachment allows you to analyze mistakes without the crushing weight of self-criticism, making it easier to try again. By embracing these 5 principles, the 5-minute rule, the apprentice mindset, externalization, momentum over magnitude, and identity decoupling, you shift your focus from preparing to acting. You are training the skill of starting. Now, don't let this powerful information remain in the preparation phase. Close this. Choose one tiny action you've been avoiding. Set a 5-minute timer and start.